Woke Hollywood is furious at you. Yes, you. Everybody out there in the marketplace who's not supporting the woke content they thought was going to be the modern message. Now they're recalibrating, fixing the numbers, and trying desperately to confuse you into believing that we all need a double down, triple down, nay, a quadruple down into the woke era. There's just one problem. We speak the language they're deceiving with. Hello, folks. Welcome back. It is a pleasure. It is a joy as ever. And boy, oh boy, do we have a story for you. Hollywood wants to double down on woke, and they're using parsed language. It's just a joke, folks. We'll show you what they're really saying. We'll show you the real statistics and what it means. It means, by the way, cutting to the chase, that the rest of America is so much better than Hollywood, they can't even fathom it. We'll explain. Click the like button, and let's dive in. It's the Wokepocalypse continuing on. No matter what they tell you, the markets have moved on from woke, and the Hollywood Reporter is furious about it. They're angry at it. Tony Maglio can't stand it. Angry at you. Angry at the market. Here we go. Nearly 92% of the top scripted streaming series come from white creators. Women in leading roles slipped from 39% last year to 34.3%. in UCLA's latest Diversity on Streaming TV report. Now, this is made to make you think that Hollywood is not supporting the right things anymore. Oh, we're not doing enough. Oh, we have not committed hard enough. Folks, pay close attention to how this is worded, because really, they're furious at you. The article says diversity in Hollywood is maybe not as diverse as you'd think in these modern times. See? The latest UCLA study, Hollywood Diversity Report Presents Streaming Television 2024, found that 91.7% of the top scripted shows on streaming have white creators. Even more granularly, 78.9% have white male creators. And not all of them are Taylor Sheridan. UCLA studied 224 scripted series among the top 250 television programs. Of those, 27 had Black, Indigenous, and people of color creators, 49 had a female creator, and 2 did not have a clearly identifiable show creator. Here's the graph they want you to see. Share of all show creators by race and ethnicity for top streaming scripted series in 2024. Who are they really angry at? Well, folks, embedded in this story is a lesson for all of us. Because I'm going to tell you, Hollywood and people like the writers at the Hollywood Reporter, it's their fault. They don't want to admit it. And I'll tell you why, because woke did this. The Wokepocalypse is here. Folks, how do you get a pie chart that looks like that, where 91.7% of the top streaming shows were written by white people? The first thing you have to understand is that this is not 91.7% of all streaming shows. That would be drastically different. This is the top streaming shows as determined by viewership. Now, how do you manage to cause this? Because this should be a natural. It should be. How so, you say? Well, because the population isn't 91.7% white in Hollywood. And therefore, if every race is equally creative, and I believe they are, then it should be impossible to have nearly 92% of the top scripted streaming series come from white peeps. Do you know how they did this? Do you know how woke caused this? Ladies and gentlemen, think through this with me. Are you ready? Hey, Tony Maglio, ponder with me for a moment. What is the expectation when these people put someone of color in charge of a show? What does Hollywood allow them to write about? Lauren, in the woke enterprise, they're allowed to write about their lived-in experience, their truth, right? Seldomly are people now allowed to write about something bigger and broader. And what does that mean? Hollywood, in its chase for wokeism, has created a system where white people write about big, broad stories that feature diverse casts of everybody, and the other groups have to write about only things that interest their group, their tribe, in the woke effort. That's what they've done. That they have destroyed Hollywood. And the woke movement has destroyed the success of everybody except white dudes. Because this is unnatural, Lorne. This isn't possible unless you actually do a system that destroys everybody except the white dudes, and then you get mad about it and you pout about it, and you never admit, oh, wait a minute. I think we did this to ourselves. Lorne, what in the world? How can they not see that they've done this by doing this thing where everything that comes from non-white dudes has to be woke and only speak to the living experience of the people who made it, and therefore isn't universally identifiable by others? How do they not see this, Lorne?
Well, they have an incentive to protect an agenda that benefits them. I'm not sure I agree with the premise, though, because from my standpoint, it is primarily white writers that are told that they can't write about anybody else's lived experience. You can't write, for instance, a queer story. You can't write a story about any other ethnicity. You are locked into writing a story about somebody of Caucasian descent, and likely only if they are portrayed in the negative light. Whereas I think for anybody from any other recognized protected class, they're allowed to write about essentially anything that they want. The rules are less strictured for them as to whether they could write somebody of a different ethnicity, for instance, because the assumption there is that the default is that white normative is going to be negative, and so that's how it's going to be portrayed. Does that make sense?
Lorne, you're exactly right, except for, and this is why this article is so deceptive. You're exactly right, except for, we're not talking about writers. We're talking about creators. In the writing room, Lorne, you're exactly correct. And in the writing room, they've added these, there are these quotas now that basically make it where it's almost impossible to be a white dude in the writing room. But Hollywood has created a system where the creators of these series, they're typecasting their creators. Hollywood has created a system, Lorne, where if you are a black woman, what does the Hollywood executive demand of you? Why are they hiring you to create something? Because you have to make a program that speaks to your experience as a black woman. Now, the problem with that is that the white dude can write about any crazy thing, any kind of sci-fi thing, anything. And they're forcing the people who are not white dudes, who are creators, to come up with concepts, because essentially that's what a creator is, right? It's a concept comer-upper. And what do you do if you're a concept person? Well, if you're being hired based on, and this is, Hollywood has put this out there as a secret that's allowed to be said, if you're being brought on to write about your experience based on your immutable differences, it tends to be that you might have a very fervent fan base, but you can't have a huge fan base because you're probably not writing a show that speaks to the experience of so many others. You've become myopic, and that's the system they've built.
I don't know. I don't know that they actually put that much thought into it. You're saying that they are being pigeonholed into writing their own lived experience. I'm not sure it's even that. I think they're just hiring somebody to tick off the box so that they meet the established quota that is required. I don't think they care about the content. That just happens to be a byproduct of the people that are put into those roles. I don't know that it's being mandated. I think that's just the way it works out once you have that mandated quota.
Tom, what are your thoughts? So I think that it's synthetic, but it's unintentional due to ineptitude. Lorne believes that it's organic, right? Lorne, you think this is just an organic action that's just happening?
I don't think you can call it organic if you have a quota for who's going to fill what kind of roles or what percentage of what type of people have to be on your development team. I don't think that's organic, but I'm also not certain that they're saying this is the only kind of content that we want from you. I think there's just a propensity from people that are put in those showrunner roles that are of a particular checkbox group that's what they're going to write about, if that makes sense.
Tom, what are your thoughts? Because it seems to me this is impossible. Like, this statistic has to come from a system that actually creates this. And so that's my thought. Lorne disagrees. But Tom, I also believe, as you get ready to weigh in, I also don't believe we're going to get an article anytime soon that says nearly 92% of the top performing athletes in the NFL and the NBA are non-white athletes. I don't think that they're offended in some ways about that. Tom, what are your thoughts?
Boy, I mean, it's a strange. I kind of see where both of you are coming from, and I can't disagree with either. And I don't know enough about what the stipulations are still in the writers' rooms and the creative roles in Hollywood. I mean, I know what script doctors talked about. I mean, and he'll be one of the first to tell you that there is a change happening.
Right, which maybe this article hates, right? Because script doctor says the change happened in about 2022.
Yeah, it's starting to take effect, or however you want to look at it. I mean, the number one guy in TV right now is a white dude, right?
Mr. Sheridan.
As that picture points out there. And this is actually kind of related to what just happened this last week with Avengers. And I know you guys might know what I'm talking about here because we're going to drop a video on it soon.
Back to Civil War 2.0, right, Tom?
Yeah. So like all of a sudden you have the white boys showing up again, and the usual customers are losing their little freaking minds, right?
But again, okay, wait though, Tom, because they did it to themselves. How? Yeah. Okay, so in Marvel, you actually have these really cool characters of all different races that we would love to see. We want to see Blade. We want to see Storm. Do they give us Blade and Storm? No! They give us She-Hulk. And they give us, hey, what if we race swap this character and that character? What? We don't give you a reason to care about them. Just, they've got the same shield, darn it, watch them.
You're not wrong. Like, and She-Hulk is a great example of a character that was popular, but then they went and made her insufferable, right? And then the same thing with this Captain America deal. You're 100% right. Like, they're blaming the audience for Disney making the decision and the Russos making the decision to bring back Steve Rogers. When it's like, well, it wouldn't be that way if people didn't reject Sam as Captain America in the last movie. I mean, it was almost universally panned, and it was a flop at the box office. What do you think is going to happen? Sorry, go ahead, Lauren.
I was just thinking, Blade should be the easiest slam dunk in the world to do. It's simple. You've got a badass vampire hunter that it's
you want to know how to fix this? You just let Ryan Reynolds run the MCU. Because Ryan Reynolds is the only person who's smart enough to go, why are we not getting an old man Blade movie?
Right.
Like, how hard is it to let Wesley Snipes go work out for a couple of months while you write a quick script that's literally just about Wesley Snipes going in and killing a bunch of vampires in a building, a la Dead, like Dread and what's that action film that everybody loves, the Raid, right? Just do something cheap like that. How hard is that?
That's the other thing, is that you'd be able to keep the budget down easy because it doesn't need to be a massive special effects flick, and yet here we are. They want to make him a side character in his own movie so they can showcase his daughter.
Oh, wait a minute. So Tom, if I understand this right, you're saying that the answer to this fury that Tony Maggio feels,
give it over to a white boy,
is to give even more to Ryan Reynolds, give him the entire MCU.
At this point, he's the only one who seems to get it.
That's right.
Like, I'm sorry, Deadpool and Wolverine is a very underrated film in some respects, because a lot of people are like, oh, just turn your brain off and it's a popcorn movie. I'm like, no. Step back and take a look at that movie. Ryan Reynolds is literally, up the butt, okay, through that whole movie. Disney is the bad guy through the whole movie. He's telling you Marvel sucks now, right? And he's the only one giving the audience what they want. And not only does he give the audience what they want, he's almost doing it in a teasing way, because you get Blade, but he gives you a character we never got before with Channing Tatum, right? Like, so it's he gets it. He's what the audience cheered through that whole movie, right? Like, yes, there was some people who didn't like it. I'm not going to say there's not, but the overall majority enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And what's the one thing that's about the two big hits they've had since Endgame? Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man. What's the things that are the most similar between those two things? And I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this. There's very pro-male and friend and such stories in it, right? It's the first time Zendaya gets out of Peter Parker's way and actually helps him, right? So you had a lot of people that are like, oh, I can't believe they actually made the third movie really good. And I don't think it has everything to do with Tobey and Andrew Garfield coming back. I think people were just actually finally happy to see this Spider-Man actually finally take the mantle as Spider-Man, right? Like, yeah, the first two movies were but this movie I think really established that. But they had very strong male positive points through both of them, right? Like Spider-Man, of course, is about Peter Parker growing to be the man that he should be through sacrifice and loss. And it's the same thing with Wolverine, right? In Deadpool and Wolverine, and the same thing with Deadpool. Like, he has to learn, that, he doesn't need the Avengers because the Avengers need to be there for other people. And then Wolverine, on the other end, has to make up for the crap that he did in his world. And it's both about them becoming better men, right? Like, at the end of the day. So you got two films where that's their main, like, core of what they're about. And why do I think that resonated with the audience? Because for the last 10 years, men have been told that we're nothing but pieces of crap. That's true. Why. And I'm being as nice as I can with the language since the F word already got thrown out there.
Hey, Tom, permission for us to keep Blake Lively, though, away from the MCU if we do this.
Sure.
I appreciate that. Hey, folks, here's one thing. I think all three of us agree on this. 92% of the top scripted streaming series coming from white guys. That doesn't happen unless you have a corrupt Hollywood. They are so stupid that they put in these systems and they actually make things worse. Folks, listen to me, okay? We think people of all races and all backgrounds are just as creative as they can be. And everywhere else in America does better than Hollywood. While Hollywood stands on their soapbox and preaches to you and then cries and whines and complains, the market just won't buy the stuff. They are the ones who did this to themselves. They are the ones who created whatever is happening here. Lauren has an idea on it. I have an idea on it. Tom has an idea on it. The one thing we know, we could beat this, and so could you. And America is turning against the woke Hollywood elites. The Wokepocalypse continues. And put another one in the can, folks. A video of excellence has been birthed into existence, and you were there to witness it. Thank you for participating. We hope you had a good time. Folks, it's a great time anytime we get to share time with you, and we mean it. The only thing additional we ask, on the way out the door, consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. And oh, by the way, if you would be so kind, perhaps share this out on your favorite social media platforms. Folks, we've got all kinds of content coming your way. If you are interested in going even beyond all of that, well, there's a Pro Store, and you can always find those items directly below the video you're watching. The Pro Store, it's a cool place to check out for items that, well, definitely Disney and the rest are not going to sell you, but we're happy to do so. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.